Emma and I are just laughing because we've literally spoken for 45 minutes before this, and we're just like, we should have just been fucking recording all of this because the juiciness that comes out in the actual real conversations, and especially when you are absolutely obsessed, like we are, with the Gene Keys, you are obsessed with building a business your way. Anyway, we're laughing. Okay.
As all of you, as every mother effing part of you. Yes.
Yeah. So today's YouTube is about building business your way through the lens of the Gene Keys, because I feel like so many people have either never touched on Gene Keys or they know a little bit. And I want to discuss this podcast for about half an hour, just for those curious. I want to discuss how, like, what is it that the Gene Keys does to support that, and how we can use it as a powerful map to support building business our way. So I'd love to hear, Em, what you think your definition is of that, building business your way through the lens of the Gene Keys.
My definition of building biz my way through the Gene Keys. Well, just saying it. I wish it was recorded. I was just saying, because Gizzy and I talk about building the structural integrity of the woman who is the leader of a business. So when I think about building biz my way through the lens of the Gene Keys, meaning utilizing the power of that profile and what it means for my life, it means I have a map to understanding what makes me come alive, what makes me pop, what I might be challenged by. And so it's empowering because I know how to plug in. I know what my way means. That's probably the thing, is that so much of us are so preconditioned and we don't even realize to ways we have to do things. But when we come back to our chart and we really bring ourselves back inside our own body and our own being, and we know who we are, then from there ripples the natural action of a business that is actually my business. That's what it means to me through the lens of the Gene Keys. And because the Gene Keys includes what makes you healthy, what keeps you healthy, what fulfills you, what are your challenges, what are your blocks to love and receiving love, and what are the challenges that come up in communication for you, all of that goes into business. Like we talk about business, and this is a bit of a segue but relates to this, is we've got so deluded in creating this entire empire and industry outside of us of business that's become so separate. It's like, no, you can go and build a business and it's not an extension of us, but business is an extension of us. Our entire life is our greater body. It is an extension of us. So when we have the Gene Keys and we know who we are as a person and what is going on inside this person, what makes this person tick, we have this, we don't have to, obviously, we could work it out through meditating and understanding ourselves, or we can have this map that already knows the pressure points, that already gives us the language. Language, Brene Brown says, is the difference between feeling empowered, existing in the world, and not, because to name something is to create the release of tension of it. So to have the language for what it is you're experiencing gives you the power of perspective, and that's where you have choice. So when we're talking, when we have our profile and we have that power of language and we return choice to ourselves instead of being caught in reactivity and conditioning, we can build biz our way, and it can get us paid, fill us the fuck up, feel like the greatest creative experiment that is constantly feeding back to us, can look after our families, can leave a legacy for the planet. It can be all of that because it is an extension of us, and we are that woman who is living that greatness.
Mic drop. Oh, I love it so much. I love that shit. And seriously, we do. I mean, you know, and Emma and I have come to this incredible partnership, and that's through the Gene Keys that Emma helped to realize to me, and what my genius is and my strengths, and not even strengths, but just who I am, just naturally who I am. And Gene Keys gives me a permission slip to amp up more of what my genius is. And in a world where, Em and I are constantly in the conversation of like, okay, cool. This is a business program. Got it. And but like a business program and whatever you're offering to the world, don't water yourself down to what you think your ideal clients or what the fucking world or what every other business coach or whatever other relationship coach or whatever other Gene Keys coach is doing in hopes that people are going to want to buy from you. In fact, Gene Keys gives me even more permission to go, actually, in my vocation key, which is all around, can you just touch quickly around your vocation key? What is that again?
Your vocation key is your pain to purpose. It's where your core wound becomes your calling in the world. Why deep down from the depths of you would take the initiative to go out into the world to create change because you've journeyed something and you've got something to give people because of what you've journeyed. That's your vocation.
So that for me was literally from inertia, which is from being stuck, to movement. And not even knowing that my whole fucking brand is about moving. So just the permission piece is like, I'm not a very strategical, I'm a bold, which I learned from my brand line. I'm a bold, fucking say it as it is, fucking take up space, fucking be chaotic, because my chaos leads to innovation. And this is what we support women in, is giving them some guidance, throwing them in the fucking magical deep end of literally meeting their hearts, their deepest pain, their deepest joy, their deepest pleasure, to actually build a business that is so them, that is so fulfilling in every single way, from the money they make to the relationships that they have, to actually, I think for both of us, the reason that we do this work is that we want to leave behind a legacy, and that's what Legendary Woman is. It's a woman who is born to tell stories and to leave behind her legacy and her legacy in every single word she spoke, how it was from a place of deep love and care and service, and that she just lived. And being legendary is not necessarily having this huge money-making empire. It's about living, like truly living, and then the ripples of following the pathway of the Gene Keys, of fucking embodying everything that you came here to be, and having so much fun.
Yes, having so much fun. And like something I've been saying a lot lately is we have to do way less than we think we need to do to be way more than we ever imagined we could be.
Yeah.
And that to me is a Gene Keys. Like when Kezia just said she knows what she can turn up, like who she is, what she can harness, and also just who the fuck she's not. And she doesn't have to keep trying to play to be that, and how she can just let that shit go. And so she is this full presence of a woman who takes her brand everywhere she goes. And a big thing that we talk about so much and so often is prosperity, like real prosperity, not just wealth in one direction at the expense of everything, but prosperity where we have love, we have health, and we have wealth. All three, the entire trilogy. And the portal of prosperity is an open heart. It is an open heart. So the mission and the legacy that I, like Kizzy and I are constantly speaking to, is turned on body, open heart, clear voice, clean, clear. Like we were just having this conversation that Richard Rudd says, you've got to be selfish before you serve. And that doesn't mean that we can't go out in service first, because life always gets it right. And if we've leaped into service first, before we've really become self-aware and found Gene Keys or whatever, that's all perfect. And now we do have this tool. So what we can be doing in the act of serving, in the act of moving, which is what you'll do in Kezia's space, is we'll come into Legendary Woman and we'll actually become selfish in the sense of we really will get you so deeply connected to who the fuck you are uniquely, activate your genius, turn your body on, turn up your vitality and your radiance, Have you fall in love with your partner again, your kids again, have the most scrummy relationships and be serving? Like, that's the legendary
Yeah.
woman. That's building biz our way through the lens of the Gene Keys. Building biz your way through the lens of your profile. So you are here being everything you came here to be, doing everything you came here to do from that place where
Yeah.
being is the driving essence.
Because for us, in even how I teach marketing, how we teach strategy in the Legendary Woman, everything is a derivative of the frequency of who you are. So, you can make money off of parts of you. I know lots of people that make lots of money, but there's no fulfillment, and so it's like the frequency of who you are and what you're putting out there to the world. This work will truly, it's a, the Gene Keys unlocks your genius, which means, when we unlock our genius, when we integrate our shame and our shit and we just bring it with us wherever we go, we become just this magnetic being. Em and I talk about all the time. It's like wherever we go now, we're being noticed and stopped and stared at and as we should be. Like we are beautiful, magnetic, alive woman. And as we fucking should be, as we should be. And I think every woman should, that is the naturalness. It's not about that, another man wants to fuck you or anything. I mean, if he can too, that's fine. But it's just this magnetic frequency that a woman puts out into the world. And that for us is what this work is doing. So that when you unlock your magnetism and your radiance, like your brand, the words that you speak, the way that people listen to you when you speak in your way, not in my way, not in fucking Emma's way. Like we are here for your way. And your way might be a way of telling sensual stories of poetry that is in your landing page that, it's like giving you the full permission to go, yeah, you're a four-line. You're meant to romance your clients. You're meant to, whatever it is that is for you, which just is like, oh my God, I've been trying to do it this way. And it's like, it doesn't feel like me. And I'm like, because it's not you.
Yeah, we're constantly saying you take yourself everywhere you go. You take yourself everywhere you go, whether you like it or not. You're taking yourself everywhere you go. So why wouldn't you take the most turned on, in love version of you into your business, onto your social media, into your relationships? Like this is what the energy is. Take yourself everywhere you go and let that be into your business and into your online presence, because this is about making money online. And so, like Kizzy just said, if you're aligned for, you're about romancing, you're about feeling, you get to turn that up. We were laughing in a session the other day with a group of amazing businesswomen about humor, and that we don't have to then strategize content for Instagram for our business because we've got to have a plan over here. It's like who you are is this natural comedian. You naturally have this ability to bring humor to situations that other people just couldn't, because you're someone who's walked through so much. So how does that become an extension of what you're sharing in your Instagram? What if you are just like a fucking stand-up comedian and that's your branding and you just make funny ass fucking reels and you serve people with emotional coaching? Because when people love you, they want to buy from you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be selling programs all the time. Maybe a line 5 sells their program because that's really what they do. They know their problem and they solve it. And that's like one line that has that energy that really could hone in on that whole niche concept. But that means 5 other lines are trying to live in this box and wondering why it's not working. Because if you're a line 2, you're fucking here to be passionate and just bringing all of that to life on your screen. So you're just suffocating under this thing of I've got to deliver like this. So we're just all about, like I said before, who you are and who you're not. And it's not even about strengths and weaknesses. It's just stop weaponizing yourself against yourself. Stop weaponizing who you're not and being in that shame cycle of I'm not enough and I'm not good at this, and stop weaponizing who you are. Like Kizzy is always talking about, her chaos is a fucking genius. because her chaos is where she gets innovative. My grandfather used to say, necessity is the mother of all invention. And when shit has hit the storm, hit the fan, that is when necessity turns on and we get creative and we
Yeah.
remember we're creative beings. So Kezia she's just harnessed that. Instead of weaponizing that against herself, she's just like, how do I just turn this up in myself? And people love it because people love not the permission to be someone or to be like that person, but the permission to realize that who they are is fucking good enough. And not just good enough, but great and legendary status immediately. Not anything I've got to go and do, who I already am. And then when you move as that woman, that touches life. And like Kezia said, you're noticed. It's magnetic. It's palpable.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, I think we should just bloody end there because it's just so good. And this it is a framework, and I do love frameworks, and I love giving language and systems to my soul, and for us, this body of work gives us those language and those frameworks, and then we fucking make moves. So if wherever you are watching this, Legendary Woman is an open cart mastermind for you to come and join and be at a round table of queens who are up to legendary shit. So come and join and play with us in the most magical, genius unlocking way. Thank you, Em.
I love you.
Love you.
Can't wait to meet you all.
Woo!